Go live. You're live.
Okay. Maybe it'll work this time. Let us know if it's not. You can. So, where was I? Don't know what. Top of the console. Was in the habit of explaining. Oh, it's freezing?
It's just not right.
Okay. It's not working. All right. Technical difficulties.
Okay. Let's see if we can switch this. Maybe Elon doesn't like. Okay. Warning, your connection is unstable. You're on still.
What?
You're on still.
Oh, somebody's dead.
Huh?
Let's see. It appears to be working. So,
It appears to be working.
again, let us know. I'm going to try to read some of this stuff myself. Okay, it's okay now. Thank you for that. Okay, I've been talking about how consoles aren't just to hold your coffee cup and the gear shift lever. I'm trying to use it to hide all kinds of things. This is, there's all kinds of electronics, transmission, fuel pedal, ton of stuff. We can hide maybe a fuse box in the side. So we build this so you can upholster and slide the side channels underneath both sides. This hole I'm going to make smaller. I also, once I got it in, I've been talking to Lyle. He's looking at a plate that has some relief in it for charger, cups, phones. I don't have an exact width on that, but I'm thinking I need to be maybe an inch wider in here to make things easier. And for that 11-inch screen, diagonally, I wouldn't mind having about half, 3/4 more, maybe not for sure. Anyhow, you make one of these, first one takes a while. Now I can refine it with a different hole, and I can do that pretty quick. So I've talked to the upholstery dude. I got to allow a 1/16 of an inch for leather on the inside of this, as well as the outside of the panel. That's 1/8 of an inch. That's why you got to keep in touch with the upholstery dude. So Mark has advised me on that. A lot of times, you know, got the gauges in here. We're just going to have the big screen. There's going to be a bucket that comes up about here, and that's going to be the armrest right up here. That doesn't really make a lot of sense looking at me like that. But anyhow, we're going to do all that. We had many suggestions. We'll go to a wreckers. And that's a great idea, actually. Find some consoles there. There are no wreckers here. Believe it or not, if I drive for an hour, I think I might be able to find a wreckers. But we've also had 2.5, 3 feet of snow. So I'm probably not going to see a lot or be able to open doors or all the rest of it, right? So we do have the bonus of the interweb, and we can look online and see all kinds of different ideas. That helps considerably. I don't want to follow, I don't like square. I see lots of these consoles that just come up straight. Maybe a bit of a taper, but it's straight. I like curved lines always. The bead roll on the edge. Again, I roughed this in pretty quick. That's why I really want to refine it now. Won't take a long time. So we're going to play with the console more, but I decided to stop that because we have parts coming that are ordered for chargers, cups, etc. So I put that to the side, and I went to work on the fuel pedal mount and smoothing out the firewall. This is also, when we tried earlier, this is the battery box cover. Not a lot going on here, but Mark Upholstery said use magnets. Great idea. So I'm going to try to put some pins so it drops into place, and there's a couple of good magnets that hold it in place. And then you can just upholster this piece. And that should work. whole bunch of different ways of doing it. So I've ignored all the priming. I know the body's good. I took the doors off. What, did you have a question? No?
No,
Okay.
there's a whole bunch. We'll go through a few.
Oh, okay. So I decided to concentrate on the firewall. I wanted to concentrate on the console. That can be done. The thing is I don't want to paint underneath until I'm done welding on the floor. So that's what made me jump onto the console. And so the firewall, it's a whole bunch of work. And I call up people who built cars with these motors and things. I was talking to Todd from ANC Transmission this morning. He also has a transmission ready for the 64 Pontiac Parisian, which is outside for us. And these guys build a lot of cars, and they allow for updating cars, upgrading cars. So I'm trying to make room for a newer AC system. I'm trying to make room for ductwork. Wiring, there's a lot of wiring. So I just didn't want to prime it yet. I got to focus and try to get the welder out of my hand. We get all excited and want to see it in primer because it looks better. But I got to ignore that for now and just finish the welding. That's really hard to do because it looks like a car.
Okay, so we have New Doug says hi from Newfoundland.
All
I
right.
think he was laughing at our take two.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes. Wow.
Nigel, hi Blair and Lou from Australia. Mark says hi from Michigan.
All right.
Another Mark says welcome back from New York.
There's an unusually large amount of Marks who are into the old car stuff. So Michigan Mark, cool. New York. Right
Corey
on.
says hello from Red Deer.
Oh, yeah.
Nigel
Yes.
thinks it looks great.
The land of ice and snow.
Impella John, good day.
Oh, right on.
He thinks the console's looking awesome. And
Yes.
Dale likes the way you thought it out and making it work.
Yeah, we're far from done, but we're getting there. And don't expect it to ever work the first time. At least I don't. You refine it. You could spend a lot of time making patterns. I mean, you can call this a pattern. I suppose it is. But if it's not out of metal, it's pretty hard to see how it's really going to behave when you're making compound curves and shapes and cutouts. But I don't want to start a war with anyone who does love making patterns. Or maybe I do.
And Bob says, hello, happy New Year. Stay warm and healthy. Ken says, good day, Blair and Lou.
Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. It's looking good. Pretty snowy, but that's all right. We're going into town tonight. My dad is taking us out for New Year's dinner. We have a keg restaurant, if you're not familiar with them, home of dynamite steaks. In Alberta, one thing they're really known for is great steak. So we're going out for some steaks tonight. Who's that? So I was trying to get a lot done on this, and I can't show you because it'll be out in the next couple of videos on the Firewall. We do have the 74 CUDA here. Now, I normally wouldn't bring in two jobs, but I normally have a second job, a small little job. And that's to take care of when you need to think about something on this job. You go over and work on the other job. And just a bit of a mental health break. It helps. It really does. And then you're fresh and you go back. If you just need an hour, 2 hours, basically the 74 would be for sort of a nighttime thing to have some fun. We are putting up moldings at night though, because Lou is renovating. And she's been staining all kinds of wood. So we've started to put that up. We may be able to give you a tour of that.
And I did the unthinkable. I mixed tint.
So you buy your tinters, right? You go and you buy it, it's off the shelf. They give you samples and everything. And of course, Lou went, nah, too light. Yeah, it's too dark. Let's mix them together. So she's made her own paint code, stain code. I strongly don't recommend doing that. So now, when you run out, you got to mix more and hope it's exactly the same. Now we're using measuring cups and everything else, and I'm sure she's going to have no issues. But you're asking for trouble when you do that. The same with paint. Pick a code. Every code is out there, I'm pretty sure. So I generally highly recommend, if you're trying to pick colors, chips are hard to look at. We'll suggest, hey, let's go for a drive. Go to a dealer. Hyundai has some really amazing colors. I don't know why, but they do. So
Okay, CJ wants to know, he says hi. What kind of year is your Harley?
oh, hey, CJ. So I have a 1993 Softail. It's a Fat Boy. Bought it new. And Lou rides a 95. I believe she rides a 95. Sporty. Had a nice Road King I melted down. Mark, another Mark, who builds some wild cars and bikes, bought it back from me and put in some big motor. And if life treats me right, I may have the Road King for going cruising. I can carry more stuff. So yeah, 93 Fat Boy, bought it new, still got it. It's got a lot of miles. I've redone some rings. Haven't done the bottom end, but done quite a bit of everything else.
Robert's wondering, I really want to see how to do fender flares. Any chance you're going to do something like that?
Oh, fender flares are cool. Back in the 70s, we used to use EMT, electrical conduit, and you would bend it and you'd come out from the body of the car. Can we just turn this a hair? There, that's probably enough. So let me find something. Oh, I must have something. Oh, I got something. Okay. This isn't the right stuff, but if it was 1/2-inch electrical conduit, you would put it in a tubing bender. Wow, that is really good stuff. And you bend it. Like that, right? And this doesn't make a lot of sense. Can you see that? Anyhow, so you weld this all the way around the opening, right? And it's welded to the car. And once that's done, why do I seem excited? Because building fender flares is always lots of fun. So you put this on, and then you just put a flat piece of metal from the pipe to the car, right? So the inside's done. Then the outside, you just bend up a chunk with a curve in it. Or you can go at an angle. You can go straight. Like, it's really, really easy. And they're part of the car when you're done. And you can make it lower. I mean, it's so easy. So you can make big wide ones. I mean, we're talking the 70s was when it was big. Now on the front of a car, same thing. Come down off the front of the fender, down low, and then across underneath, and come up the other side. You framework it with 1/2-inch or even smaller. You could use stuff like this, which is maybe 3/8. You can bend it with this. We used EMT before. This might be easier, in fact. Gives you a nice small lip too. So you bend up a tubing framework, and then you put your metal up to it. And it's pretty simple. And it's a ton of fun. Like, it's a lot of fun doing that. It's just not something that's done that much anymore. But I would highly recommend it. Thing was, guys wanted to run big wide tires, and tubbing the car was a ton of work. Cutting away frames, maybe. So this way, you just built the car out to protect the rocks from going up and hitting your buddy on his motorcycle who's riding behind you. Made you a bit of a high heat score, because that meant you're going to be ripping up the tires going up and down the street. So you might be pretty popular with the local constabulary if you did that. But it's a lot of fun. So any kind of metal work, it's always lots of fun. And the beauty of it is, if it doesn't work out, cut. It's not like a carpenter. You can't join a board back together. We can join steel back together. So it's simple. If you don't like it, cut it out, try again. Weld something onto it.
Okay, so Country Boy says hello from Millet, Alberta. Happy New Year.
All right.
2026.
Millet, I have been there many times.
And Morgan almost forgot about our live. That's okay. Our
Oh, yeah.
live didn't work first time around.
Yeah, you missed the first bit where it was the gong show. Sometimes we have technical difficulties out here in the prairies. So, Yeah, I've been around all over Alberta, say Saskatchewan, chasing rigs when I worked in the oil patch. That was many years ago. So BC, I've worked around quite a bit. But yeah, do you know Millet and all of small town Alberta? It's a great place to hang out. But I can.
Mark from Michigan has been learning a lot by watching you. He's working on 88 AMC Eagle.
Oh, wow. Now those are cool cars, far out and really hard to find, especially up here. And if anyone's doing something weird like that, I'm really interested. It's not an insult to call it weird. It's different. It's very cool. Anything you're working on, I do enjoy looking at the pictures. People go to my Instagram, Blair.Smith. And the number 2. Send me some pictures. Arizona's been sending me pictures of their, I guess you call it the Ute El Camino. It's a Ford, but very cool car. They got a couple. And it's really interesting to see that stuff that other people are working on. Let me shut off the compressor. Be right back.
And they can see my bike in the spring when it's outside.
Yes, I was doing some wiring repairs and I broke the stud on her coil. Right now, there's an issue. I tried to get her one, but you have to order one in because apparently 1993 makes it a vintage bike now. So they don't keep the part on the shelf. So, but yes, pictures of people who are working on their own cars with questions as well. I really enjoy that. I remember when I was young watching guys doing Camaro clips, trying to figure out how do they do that? What are they paying attention to? What are the angles they need for the ball joints? How does it all work? What makes it safe? And the only way to figure that out was to watch other guys and ask questions. And so there's a lot of guys doing things different than I would do, and that's great. I'd like to see it. I can learn from it. I can answer questions if I know the answers. Go to the Instagram and send pictures, and I'd be interested in seeing it. It's all good.
Morgan, Arizona, Resto Fairlane says
yes,
hi.
That's the dude.
Yeah.
Right on.
Dale's laughing at the local constabulary.
Well, we have to be respectful. We all got to be out there on the roads, right? So, yes. So Fender flares are a treat. It's all fun doing the custom, right? I mean, I have great respect for restorations. I did a lot. The ones at Rust Bros were, I don't know, it's not a restoration so much a resto mod. I'm not sure. It looks original, but you upgrade the brakes, safety issues, and you always put in more horsepower. But I do enjoy original. But if I'm building, I really like going a bit custom. And that made working for JF Customs a lot of fun because nothing there was straight ahead. And that was a lot of fun. And he just gave his car away, his 50/50 Camaro that I got a chance to work on for a day or two. They just chose a winner. I believe it was someone named John from BC. So that's got to be a tough one for them to let go. But yes, they actually gave it away. So that's pretty cool. That's on Killer Customs TV. That their YouTube channel? Is that what they call it? Killer Customs?
Killer Customs.
Yeah. So check them out.
Dale, there are no parts for cars any longer. Dealerships don't like to sell parts anymore.
Well, it's difficult. Everybody went to the just in time. Is that what you call it? Anyhow, they don't keep inventory. They try to figure out we used to sell 12 fenders a month. Every month they had 12 fenders come in. So when I went in to get a fender, they don't have any. So they order one in. I got to wait. So they definitely, it's the same with the bike parts. They just don't keep a lot in stock.
Ben made fenders using spray foam on a 98 Ranger. The guys at work loved it.
I know how that's done. I don't know if I should admit that, but it is pretty cool. And actually, guys do customs now where they'll make a fiberglass body. So they spray foam the outside of their car and they shape it. And once they have a shape that's really cool and they like it, they start laying cloth on it and they make a whole new wide-bodied car body. pretty wild what some people are doing out there in the parking lots at their apartment building. There's one guy that I follow a bit. It's, yeah, if you got some drive, you can do just about anything. Neat stuff.
And 709 Newfie. I'm working on a 67 Lincoln. It's currently in my bay for final block.
Ooh, okay. They are incredibly tough to block. They are so flat. And they got to be so straight. And is it going to be black? So many of them are painted black. So they just have to be awesome. And they're a great car. But I don't envy him for having to do that.
Nigel wants to know if you've got any more old videos. The other one was great.
That was a ton of fun, you know. I don't have a lot. There's the odd one. That was VHS. Matt from Big Time Decent had to get that digitized, if that's the correct word for us, which is really nice of him. Yeah, actually, the old stuff is cool. Always nice to see myself with a ponytail again. The good old days. So we'll see, but that's the kind of stuff that isn't that tough to do. It's a radical change in a short amount of time. And again, it comes down to the guys you're with, you know, it's a bunch of pals of mine. You can work together, and I would do that again. And I've been bugging some people here who wants a car cut in half and extended in a day. Not finished, but welded back together and drive.
So here's not a car question, but Donnie from Dundalk, Ireland.
Wow, Ireland. Very cool.
Who do you prefer, Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin? Live long and prosper.
Wow, that's an awesome question. I leaning towards Pink Floyd.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. Oh, you know, it's just because it's older. I don't know. I like Led Zeppelin, but those are two great bands. Wow.
I'd pick them both.
Yeah.
They'd be on my playlist.
Yep. It's like saying Chevy or Ford. No, I'd have to go with Chevy. But anyhow, it's like that, right? They're all great.
Tyler, Happy New Year's from Kindersley, Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Kindersley, I have been through there.
He and his son met you 2 summers ago at Westboro's.
Oh, right on. Cool, man. Yes. I worked at Kindersley in machining briefly. Mobile machine shop, actually. So, yeah. And we did get to meet a lot of people out there.
Todd wants to know, you enjoyed the video when you cut the truck in too. Did you complete the whole job?
Yes, actually. And I think at the end of the video, Lou, did you put a
picture?
Yeah, there should be a picture of the finished vehicle, and it was a third door on the passenger side. And that was a really nice truck for Ed, and we did finish it. It took several months to finish it after that one day, but very cool vehicle. And that one actually had tinted glass too. It's legal if the tint is in between the layers of glass. So we had a tint that was red to match the paint, and we had it all cut out. So that was another cool little thing that people didn't notice.
Dale, his brother's friend did a van interior, all spray foam. It was a cave van. It was in several car shows in the 70s.
That'd be pretty cool. Again, if you have a picture, send it to my Instagram. That's neat stuff. That would be a lot of work. And oh boy, would you need a good mask spraying that.
Somebody named Lyle says nice car.
Oh, any Lyle we know? Yeah, it's a nice car. It is. It's a really nice car, and I'm just having fun. I'm curious on what year that pedal is out of. It's a cool pedal. I had other suggestions. I think it's a 2012. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I got that mounted now, and the steering column hole is cut and welded, and that's all proper. Yeah, it's going pretty good. We'll have that out in the next day or so.
You have a question about the tape.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I went into the store to get a coffee. I forgot I had that. Yeah, I was drilling a hole for a steering column today for an unmentioned car. And somehow I slipped, and it really, really hurt. So I didn't look at it, and then I realized I was making a bit of a mess, so I had to tape it up. I did wash it out. It's going out for dinner. I'm going to have to take this off and put on some clean tape. Actually, it should be all right. But
So,
anyhow.
Dale has a few bands, Led Zeppelin, Kim Mitchell.
Oh, Kim Mitchell was awesome. Yes.
Max Webster.
Oh yeah, man. I totally forgot about Max Webster. See, I grew up listening to jazz and classical, and if my brother caught me listening to, top 40 that's on the radio, he'd punch me out. So it got to be when I heard country or top 40, I immediately felt pain. So that's where it all started. Where I just, I hear country and I go, ooh, because I'd immediately get beat up.
And CJ McDonald wants to know, do you and Lou get out on the Harleys much in the summer? If so, how many kilometers? Not lately.
Not lately, but now that we're no longer down working 6.5 days a week, yeah, that's the idea. We're home, and we get to jump on the bike, and you can drive for 8 miles before you have to lean. The first corner is 8 miles away. So, yeah, definitely, you jump on your bikes and you ride somewhere else because there's just not enough corners here.
Is this your retirement shop?
Retire? I don't even get that. We talked about this before, I think, but what do you do when you retire? You do exactly what you have been doing, except you don't get paid for it, right? So I don't want to retire.
Did Lyle find his second color? Did we have a
No,
confirmation?
not entirely. We're kind of thinking of the white you see in the Denali's. That's a high possibility, as I understand it. We had to get the spray out, and then I was going to take it to the paint shop. But now Lyle has that spray out, so I totally dumped off the pressure of that onto him so he can go decide on the color, and then he just has to phone me a code, and I can paint the roof. And I mean, the roof needs some primer, but again, everything is so straight, it's not like it needs to be primed and blocked and primed and blocked. It needs to be primed, sanded, and painted.
So 110 kilometers, there's no curves in Saskatchewan for 110 kilometers.
110K, that is something. We drove across it last year. Highway 16 is a little more interesting than Highway 1.
That's scary.
Because there's a dip. I think there's 2 dips actually in the middle of the province. You go down and back up on Highway 16, which is better than Highway 1, which is like, so yeah.
So retirement meaning not dealing with Mike's crazy stuff daily. There you go.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Don't know where the pedal came from. A friend from the C10 club gave it to me.
Oh, wow. Okay, good deal. Yeah, because I've talked to some guys and there's some different angles and styles. This one works out pretty good. So anyhow, the mounts are welded in and it's a done deal.
What size and make wire do you use?
I use 023. I have another welder set up with 030. And these are solid wires and I use gas. But 023 is just smaller. You can do a tinier weld. My TIG welder is out back. I generally, if it was something you would do as TIG, I'm generally using oxygen acetylene when I'm chopping a roof. I'm going to start using the TIG a little bit more. I just got to get it back in here. And right now it's on the wrong side of a 22 Chev. And the TIG, I use a 1/16 rod, and it's TIG rod, which is different than oxyacetylene rod. They tell me it's refined a little better, less variances. I don't know, it's better stuff. So, 023, there you go. Some company that's 024, 023.
And Rick, happy new projects and adventures to both of you. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And Morgan says, never retired if you're doing what you love for life.
Well, that's exactly it, right? I mean, hopefully the goal being that you can work on more of your own stuff. And that's what I hope to do. The 64 Pontiac, I don't want to wait. I want to work on it soon. This is priority. This is just as much fun as working on mine. And you could say it's even better because I don't have to pay for the parts.
Dale says Saskatchewan has no curves. You don't need a kickstand. Your tires wear so flat.
Oh, wow. Now there's one I haven't heard. That's a great one.
You watch your dog and wife run away for days.
Yes, I have heard that. That's true.
Is the 023 for butt welds?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, we're using 18 gauge. 16 in some parts of it. But definitely we butt weld with 023 and we tap as we go. You know, if it starts to warp and pull away on you, but I'm butt welding everything. I rarely, if ever, do a lap weld. If it's a lap, it's because I'm doing a factory style spot weld. The only time I seem to lap anything.
From our shop to yours, I hope this year is the best year ever from the Legacy Group.
Ah, right. Yes. Legacy Speed and Body, man. Got to get down there for a visit. It's been a great year so far. It's been quiet, peaceful.
So does that mean I have to go to Saskatchewan to run away?
Well, if you want to be seen. I lived in Prince Albert. I've lived in a couple spots in Saskatchewan. It's a beautiful province. I really enjoy it.
Dustin, doesn't retirement just mean you can put Baileys in your coffee?
Ooh, now there's a great idea.
Gotta try 40 Creek.
40 Creek is what Lou suggests. I'm pretty flexible that way, but yeah, she likes 40 Creek. That's a really good thought, you know, that yeah. And it can be a little bit later if you're retired. You know, my dad says some days he doesn't start until 9:30. So I'm looking forward to my 90s.
So TIG is less heat than Oxy, isn't it?
TIG is, yeah, because heat is instantaneous. You turn on the power, bzz, you got it. But it does heat up a larger area than a wire feed. It's not instantaneous, that's not correct. But less heat than a wire feed. No, more heat than a wire feed, but less than a torch. A torch takes longer to heat up, and therefore you have a larger area affected by the heat and possible distortion. Yeah.
Do you ever get down to Red Deer on your bikes?
Not lately. I have ridden that way a lot. And what I used to like to do is you get down to Red Deer, turn right, head out to Saskatchewan Crossing, which actually means you're going west, not towards Saskatchewan, but you're going toward the Icefields Highway. So you get out beside Lake Abraham. We drove that with Mike last year. The highway is incredibly wide. In fact, I recommend this highway. After the Dempster, here's a ginormously wide highway gently rolling beside a lake. And if I remember correctly from grade 6, it's 21 miles long, Lake Abraham. Anyhow, Bighorn Dam at the end of it. This is where we studied this area. Anyhow, check it out. That's a great place to take a bike.
Corey's going to plan a ride for the summer.
Don't really plan things, they just sort of happen. I have a high school reunion in July that I'm not missing. I don't care how big the nuggets are or how great that car is wherever I'm at. I'm going to be at my high school reunion in July.
Have you ever tried Heather Cream for your coffee from Scotland?
No, that's one I haven't heard of.
Me neither. We'll have to look it up.
So box 104. Right on. Sounds good. They have pubs in Scotland and Ireland? Really?
Can we go?
Yeah, I've heard. I'd love to go there, but we need a reason to go there.
Not really.
Well, you see, then it's a write-off if there's, a car to go look at.
Somebody would find you a car to look at.
In fact, when I hitchhiked across Canada when I was a young man, to pick up a car, it was a Sunbeam Tiger that got shipped over from Ireland. And my friend found it in Ireland, bought it, and had it shipped by boat to Halifax. So yeah, there is some cool cars over there. I haven't been there.
So where'd you go to school?
I went to school in Sherwood Park, Alberta. It's just east of Edmonton. Yeah, east of Edmonton, Alberta. My high school graduating class had, I think, like 700 people in it. Salisbury Composite High School. And yeah, they're having a 45th reunion. So I was looking up some of my buddies. Some of them are pretty old.
So typical question, Chev or Pontiac?
You see, those questions aren't even fair, but I get it. I mean, I've always had Pontiacs. Chevys are worth more money, apparently. Don't care. I've always had Pontiac Parisians, Pontiac Beaumonts. I like Pontiacs. My first legal car was a 57 Pontiac. I was looking for a Chev. So they're all good. General Motors.
Corey does say, we were talking about the pubs. Isn't that where they started? The pub
I've heard
pubs.
rumor to that effect. Yes. Yes, it is.
Um,
So I just need to find a pub that has an antique car museum around it,
Paint and Dave,
and I can go check it out.
Extreme Collision. Excellent work, Blair. Hard to find techs. A lot of work, but can't find help. Happy New Year, Sunridge, Ontario.
All right. Yeah, I understand. That's a bit of an issue. What's Daryl's last name? Fix It.
Fix Auto?
Yeah, Fix
Fix
Auto
O'Keefe.
has quite, yeah, Daryl O'Keefe. They have quite a training facility we got to go to. I couldn't believe it. But this is the issue that you keep hearing. It is difficult to find people in the trades with the training they need. And it becomes more and more difficult as time goes on. So there are some great facilities. It's like we got to help the young people find them or expose people to the trade. Now, this trade isn't collision. So this doesn't make you a tech if you work on old cars. It's a lot of fun. How long is this particular trade I'm involved in going to survive? Oh boy, I'm glad I'm not starting out now. So
For Morgan, next year is the 40th.
40th. Yeah, okay, well, yeah. And gee, Lou, yours would be what, 35th?
Not quite.
Okay. So anyhow, I'm looking at the 45th, but they're having a couple years before, a couple years after, and it's pretty cool. And I do run into the odd pal from back then, and it's pretty cool. It's, by this time, there's not that many egos out there. We're just shooting the breeze. Good to see each other. Find out what's been going on. It's interesting. It's kind of cool, man. You're just
Nick
happy
says
to
need
see.
to bring back shop class for students.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is in the cities. You see, out in the country, everyone had experience at different things. The school I went to actually had aircraft maintenance. They had a freaking airplane in there. They had wood shop. We had a full paint booth and body shop, which I never took because I was going off to university, so I couldn't take trade courses in high school, which really choked me. And I took music. Oh, here I am sniveling again. Anyhow, our school had every freaking thing. Now, that was a treat. That was a bonus. A lot of schools don't have that. So how do you fix that?
And next week we'll figure out what engine gonna rip apart.
Okay, yep. This week we will make a decision and Lou can tell you what she's gonna do. I might be her assistant on this. Definitely my dad, Earl, is going to be advising us and giving us his opinion. Because when you take these apart, lots of times you can measure and check if the ridges aren't too bad, you can just re-ring it. With one of my Model A motors, Dad and his friend, Bob Hill, I think they used a drill and a hone and they took out 20, 30 thou. And we got new, anyhow, yes, we will decide. I get carried away.
This is good. And yes, they should bring back common sense. But that's a whole other
Yes,
subject.
yes, and I'd like a pony too, but that's just not gonna happen.
We got a hi from New Zealand from Peter.
Wow, right on, Peter. Hello, New Zealand.
So did you
Yes.
end up with any kind of bachelor degree in music?
No, I was accepted to Grant McEwen College in Edmonton. My audition was with a guy named Tommy Banks, who was a pretty well-known guy. I don't think I impressed him very much, but they did accept me. And then I heard about a job somewhere, and I think that's when I moved away to Saskatchewan before school started.
Morgan School had 4-H meat cutting.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
there's a good thing to have,
That is a
especially
good
if you're hunting.
Yeah, for hunters. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to have. Yeah, it used to be hunter training was a course you could take in our school as well. And many schools. I was even junior high, grade 7, 8, 9, hunter training. So you got some gun safety and hunting and you learned about many, many things. And I couldn't take that, of course, because I was in the music program. So, Lou took it, so we're covered.
So what instruments do you play?
Trumpet, second on trombone. I played piano for many years as a kid, and I took lessons just a couple of years ago to try to get my piano chops back. There's a nice Hammond organ sitting upstairs, man, Irene put here, and I got to get some lessons. I've been gone for 5 years. This is the thing, is I keep harping on it, but for 5 years we've been down in DC working 6 days a week, sometimes a little more, and it's been awesome. But just didn't have a life. It was like that was it. So I am really glad to be back, and maybe I can take oil painting classes again, which I did before I went down there. Piano lessons, which I took before I went down there. Maybe I'll have some hair grow back that I had before I went down there. I could have a whole new world up here. Sorry, I just thought of it. It's good to be home.
So, yeah, Dustin called you Lord Blair of Alberta.
Lord
Blair of Alberta. That's funny.
It's good to be back. So, yes, get the bike out. I'd like to have a few vehicles out back. There's a bunch of area that's not cultivated. I'd like to have a bit of a track out there, kind of play around. I mean, now, I'm old enough, nobody can tell me I can't do that, right?
I'll race you on my quad.
Yeah, lose into quads and skidoos and stuff like that. I've never had that. So I'm going to have S10 pickups or something, and I'm going to roar around out back and just have some fun.
We could build a little dune buggy.
You could, or you could knock the doors off an S10. It's way quicker.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of things you could do. It all comes down to time. So it's getting this done, and then you get to have fun to play with things like that. A lot of guys like to go to the races. They follow. I would rather go out in the back 40 and, make a track, race around, have some fun. That's a bonus about, I guess, having free healthcare.
Dale says, great to have a place just to let the air out of the tires for a while.
That's a good description. Yes, that is true. Absolutely. It's good to be home, and I can wander down there and across the river and be out in the trees and can't see anybody. So that's kind of nice. Right now, you can follow my tracks because there's like 3 feet of freaking snow. But we do get that month in the middle of the year where there's no snow. So then it's good. We have moose tracks out there. I haven't seen a bear here, but they're here. They are here. So.
And Corey says life gets far too crazy when you work away from home. When you come back, all the hobbies you had start becoming more important.
That's precisely it, right? Because we forget to enjoy life. Oh gosh, here. No, but I don't want to go on about it too much, but smelling the roses, call it what you want, but it's good to be home where you can, you have your own place, your own stuff, your own hobbies, sure. At least, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, Morgan says from his meat cutting class, I guess he still uses it today, even though he's a landscaper.
Oh, really? Right on. That's not.
Could you ask your audience if they or high performance parts for an Acadian 153 at a reasonable price?
I wonder what a guy like Gordon would ask that. Yeah. So 153 was a very rare 4-cylinder that they had in 1962, I believe, General Motors. And he's looking for some performance parts, which, most people, now here's the argument. You want some real performance, throw out the 153 and put in a small, sorry, a 350 or 283. But it's an incredibly cool motor. So if there are performance parts, they'd be back from the day and they would be incredibly rare. So yes, if somebody knew of some parts for that, let us know. Again, the Instagram, Blair.Smith. And the number 2, and you can send me a message and see if we can help you out on that. So yeah, finding parts, that's the best way is, I get calls from people who can't find parts. Call up a Pontiac club or whatever club your car is in different towns.
So what is the 153? Is it a V8 or a...
I thought the 153 was a 4-cylinder. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 4-cylinder, straight 4. And 1962 only, maybe, I thing. It's really an unusual motor I hadn't heard of. But we'll find
Phil
out.
says the Offenhauser 6-cylinder intake or header and cut it down should work.
Oh, that's interesting. I know the truck we cut in half and extended, they had an Offenhauser intake. That's a 6-cylinder. Yeah, it was really cool. It's nice to see something different. You open up the hood and it wasn't a small block. It was a 6-cylinder. It was pretty nice. And again, it's not one you're trying to roast the tires off of.
And Dustin says if you're lucky enough to do what you love, it doesn't feel like work.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, agreed.
Nigel
Balance.
enjoys watching you teach how to do up a car.
Yeah, it's a hard time. I've shown so much of this car already. It's what do people want to see? I mean, I'm finishing off the driver's side. You'll see a little bit of it. There's a big spot where I'm trying to smooth out. You know, like we got to build an engine cover. I want to show you all of that. So when you lift up the hood, there's going to be some kind of cover that covers the motor. We don't know what that looks like. We could copy the outer hood, just make it smaller. That'd be kind of cool. It's hard to say. So there's things like that. And then once we get it on the frame, then we can look at that. Try to show you the thought process. It's the head scratching that takes so much time when you're building something that doesn't exist. So you're trying to make it work, make it look good, make it functional. That takes a lot of time.
And Tom says, I really enjoy your work and wish I had this information 40 years ago. Although he had done a frame off on a 1978 Little Red Express,
Ooh.
painted himself.
Far out.
The truck.
Yeah, those trucks are sought after big time. And there was, the Little Red Express, and there was another one, the Warlock, I think they called it. Very rare trucks. They had their own car shows all on their own nowadays. We saw a few, I think, in Toronto last year.
So Aaron says, Happy New Year. You look so relaxed and happy. This life agrees with you.
I think it does. It's not too bad.
And it was the Warlock.
Oh, it was okay.
That's what somebody just said.
Okay. Yes, I think it adds a few years to my life being back home.
On that note, we should probably sign off. We have to get ready to head to town.
That's right. Dad's taking us out for dinner. Bailey's coming, Michael, and Irene. Looking forward to that. And a good old Alberta steak. So cheers. This week, what am I going to do? Lots. This is a week to put in some extended hours. I'm just not ready to prime it. I've got to finish off this front part of the car. Firewall stuff. So inner doors. It's going to be a long hour, good week. So thanks for checking in and checking us out. Cheers to you guys. I'll try to wind this down while I think of a really good excuse to go to Ireland, because that sounds like fun. So need to find some car places in Ireland.